So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There's the answer code.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
All right, good evening to everyone out there. This is Amateur Radio Roundtable, and this is our first show of the new year, 2016. Today is January 5th, 2016. Want to welcome everybody and let you know we're on shortwave again tonight. We're on radio station WBCQ, International Shortwave Station, located up in Monticello, Maine. So for any you guys want to give us a signal report, just email them to Tom at W5KUB. We'd like to invite all of our listeners, too, if you would, tune in on the web to W5KUB.com, and you can watch the show tonight. We've got an interesting show coming up here. We're going to have some updates about the Dayton Hamvention. And then after that, we're going to have a segment again on the $40 or cheaper sideband transceiver that I'm building. We've already got the receiver built, and it's working fine. We're going to demo it tonight and let you see that. The receiver's working, and next step is the transmitter, and we're going to make a contact with one of you guys on the show out there with the 40-meter sideband transceiver that can be built for $10, $15 if you got a junk box. So let's see, tonight, let's see, a couple announcements. If you will, at the top of our screen, please join our Facebook group. There's a link there to join our Facebook group for our webcast that tells you all about the events, special events, and things we're doing. We are also on Twitter. You can follow us there. And if you'd like to be on our email distribution, we send out an email every week to all of our viewers out there. There's a link at the top of the above the chat room. You can click to join our email distribution. And if you don't like it, you can always hit the remove. There's a remove link on there. Tonight we have with us guests from Dayton. We've got Michael Kalter, W8CI. He's a treasurer and board member. And we've got Jim Tiderman, N8IDS, who is the Hamvention General Chair and also a board member. So how's it going, guys, up there in Ohio? Is it getting cold up here?
Actually, it's been cold, but we're expecting some warm temperatures to come rolling in again. So we're grateful for that. And thanks again, Tom, for having us on the program.
Well, you're quite welcome. We're glad to have you on, and I know we're going to do this again a few times leading up to Hamvention. And hey, the weather here, it's like summertime. I went out today and it was warm. I don't know what's going on, man. But anyway, hey, maybe this warm weather will at least be around for Dayton. We've come up there for 35 consecutive years, and we were outside many of those years, and it was really cold out there, especially when you guys had Hamvention in April, but you moved it to May, and that made it a little bit better. But let's talk about Hamvention tonight, and I know you got some subjects you want to talk about, the awards program and just different things. But where do you want to start?
Well, if I could, please, and again, thanks for the introduction. Again, I'm Jim Tiderman, N8IDS, General Chairman for the 2015, as passed, 2016 coming up, Hamvention. I'm thankful again to you, Tom, and for Mike, who was our spokesman for Hamvention again for 2016, for giving us the opportunity to come back on your show and give your audience a little bit of the background of what's been going on. We did have rumors going on that there was not going to be anything going on at Hero Arena, which now we've sold all that. We're very glad to announce, and I will announce it again, and I'll reiterate it, that Hamvention is going to be at Hero Arena this year in May 20th, 21st, and 22nd. We're all looking forward to it. The events that are going on in the past number of years, since 1964 there at Hera, and since 52 starting out, They're progressively getting better. We're looking for new, better things to do, but as we go along, we're going to be going along. And as our theme this year, what we went with is New Radio Frontiers. And this is, of course, things that you look forward to. A frontier is something that you're looking at, you don't quite know what you're looking at, but you certainly are anxious to get to it. Well, that's what we're doing this year. We're making every effort to make sure that all of our visitors, all of our guests, vendors will have the kind of time that they want to have and expect. I can't get into too much detail as to what's really going to be happening event-wise. It's mostly what you expected in the past. Hopefully, it's going to be something new. If you are looking for something new, we hope we're going to have something there for you. What I would like to do, especially as Mike is here, if we could, I would like to emphasize a bit onto the awards and the 4 categories of awards that we have need to have nominations, and those need to be in here as soon as we can get those in. So we're going to encourage you to go to our Hamvention website. It's hamvention.org, and the website itself, we have a button that is right there for awards, and when you click on it, and I'm going to take a second to look over to the side here, I've got it up over on my laptop here, and you'll go straight to the page that was set up by Frank Viafor, chairman of the awards committee, and you have the Technical Achievement Award, the Special Achievement Award, and it was my distinct pleasure to be able to go ahead and get that award out and be at that award at the awards ceremony this past year, and I did enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to this year's. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, I want to tell you, and let me figure out my cameras here. Here we go. You're talking about the awards, and guys, these are some great awards. And Dayton, the Dayton Amateur Radio Association picked us last year. We got to go to their banquet, and I'm going to try to hold this up. This is one of the awards that Jim's talking about. This is the Special Achievement Award. Let's see if I can hold some behind it. Maybe you can see it better. It's not working too good. My producer told me to hold the clipboard up behind it, so let me try that. Let's see how it works. Well, that's a little better. There you go. It's a really nice. You guys had a nice banquet, and I think anybody that wins these awards will be very proud of them. And you guys throw just a great banquet there, and we had a great time. So, Michael, you going to talk about the different awards?
Well, yeah, I can talk about them a little bit. And congratulations on winning that last year. There's a lot of competition in the whole world that we can win these awards. All right, let me talk about the Technical Achievement Award, and it's given to an amateur radio operator. Could be any place from anywhere in the world who has maintained an excellence in the world of amateur radio. And when I say that, it has to, when we judge these things, one of the bigger criteria that we're looking for is to be sure that it affects lots of amateurs, and not just having the biggest antenna of anybody or the most antennas.
Or Michael,
I brought it out.
Are you there, Michael? You kind of froze on us for a second. We're getting an internet problem, but we'll be back. Hang on. All right, Michael, you there now?
Yeah.
Go ahead and continue. We had a slight interruption there.
Okay, well, the technical achievement is basically a technical piece that someone has brought about, an amateur radio operator, for the betterment of large population of amateur radio. And the Special Achievement Award is a ham that excels in the advancement of radio, and it could be exactly like what you've done, running a radio program every week that many amateur radio operators listen to. So the next one is Amateur of the Year, and that basically is a lifetime of real giving back in making a difference in amateur radio. And the Club of the Year, which I think is very important. It's important because so many activities are around the club. For example, our club, the Dayton Amateur Radio Association, we support Hamvention, and we support a lot of other activities. And we know that there are a lot of clubs out there that do the same thing, through hard work, effort of a club. So that is a very important award. And we ask people from all over the world. It doesn't matter where you're from. If you have a good story to tell, and you fill out the form, and please use the forms that we've provided. Backup data is good because we are back checking to be sure that everything that you have there is actually the truth. And so we really ask for you to send these things in because we think it is a very prestigious award. And you ask anybody who's ever won one, and they're very, very proud of it. Very proud of the fact they won the award. And we have a very, very nice upscale banquet ceremony that we give these awards at. And then also during our prize giveaway, we reintroduce the award winners to the entire population that gathers around the last few hours of Hamvention to see what the awards are, or see if they won a prize. So in most publications publicize this, and you or your club will be pretty much become very popular throughout the world. Anyway, that's really important, though, that we get that in. We get those nominations in. So you go to Hamvention, www.hamvention.org, and that's an important message that we have for right now.
I've got the website up. I think that's what it looks like. And if they'll go there, they'll get all kinds of information about the event. And particularly, it's time sensitive. They need to get those nominees in for those awards.
If I can interject here just for a second, Tom, while you've got that page up, what you do is you scroll down as you were showing that page on the right-hand side, and if you come down, I don't know if that's a live shot or not. It may not be.
Live, no.
That's a screenshot?
Yeah, it's just a screenshot.
Okay, well, anyway, just to let the folks know, as you get to that point, over on your right, there will be buttons there that will come up and bring you direct links. That will bring you to awards. Once you click on awards, it will start you to the process and get you all the way to the explanation as to what we're looking for, and also give you the forms that Michael mentioned. And if you can please use those and use the means of getting me into us so we can make the selection.
Okay, well, I'm sure there's some really deserving people out there. There's a lot of people out there I know that they do a lot for ham radio. They need to get these nominees written up and sent in. And you never know. You're not going to win anything until that thing is sent in, right?
That's correct. That's the first step that we need to do. We rely on the amateur population to be able to get those people into us, those clubs, those different people that are deserving. A lot of times you may come across somebody who says, "Oh, I don't believe that. I don't really deserve that," or "I'm not going to be qualified for that." You never know. And it's something that you get into. It does not have to be something that is earth-shattering, that kind of thing. I think some of the best stories you come to are the ones that are possibly not the longest story in the world, but they have an impact. And of course, it all centers around amateur radio.
Well, I agree with you, and I tell you, I think the Dayton Amateur Radio Association is really out there on the leading edge to identify people that do things like that and also provide this great venue that you guys do once a year. I think you ought to do it twice a year.
Oh boy. I don't know if I would agree with that. I would say yes, if the population would support it, that would probably be something. But from my viewpoint, let's keep it up once a year for now.
Well, I know, I know it's a lot of work for you guys. You guys start planning probably the day after Hamvention is over for the next year.
We do.
And it's a big deal. And okay. So anything else about the awards you want to talk about?
Well, I would suggest that in the awards, don't be shy to nominate somebody or even nominate your own club if you think that you're worthy of it. And there are so many worthy clubs and organizations. And we all know amateur radio operators who make a big difference in amateur radio. And if you get a chance, I think it's on the website, there are a lot of past winners listed. So you can see who those people are and who won the awards in the past. So it is truly amazing, and I just hope that we find the worthiest winners.
Okay. We've got a question in the chat room. It's a pretty simple one, but they're wanting to know, I don't guess it makes a lot of difference, but they love your sign back behind you.
That's good.
They love the sign. They want to know where you got it. I imagine you can get it printed anywhere if you got the money, right? And that sign probably, it looks like high quality. I know it's a centerpiece of a lot of things you guys do, from interviews, and it was there. We took pictures at the awards banquet, and it's a nice looking sign.
Thank you. Actually, what that is, that's one of three that we have. It's a professionally done backdrop that has the kit, that has a support system on it. They've gone to Germany, and of course Japan this past year, and a Hamvention, like you said, and we have one here for
Orlando. Looking for Orlando.
Well, Orlando, and we're looking forward again. We're going to be making a trip down to Orlando, and this year I think they've talked me into going down, Tom.
Well, they want me to come down, but we're not going to make it. But Orlando, Peter, I forget his last name.
Meyer.
Meyer, yeah. Peter
and his wife,
Peter,
Liddy.
Yeah, we talked today, and we're going to have them on the show, I think, January 26th to talk about Hamcation. I've been down there once, but it's a little far to go.
Well, it's far for us, but I really enjoyed myself there last year, and I think it's a great event, and the weather's usually great, and they are expecting I think they have ARRL's having a special event down there too, so you should go down there. We'll have our backdrop there, and
well, if I can make it, I will. I'll get down here. It would be nice. Again, that's a pretty large Hamfest down here. But we're talking about Dayton tonight, not Orlando. So, hey, Dayton is in my heart. That's number one for me right there, and I think it is many people. But there are some other good Hamfests around. The Huntsville Hamfest is great. And Michael, I know you said you wanted to come down to Huntsville, so come down to Huntsville this year, and you can sit in our booth while we do the show. We'll even put you to work.
I'm not afraid of work.
All right.
Yeah, I guess that the way we look at the Hamfest is that we don't look at them as competition. And I've been run that Hamcation. And she is of the same mind that we all have to support each other, and we all want the best for amateur radio, and we don't see them as competition. We see them as support. So we see that as a wonderful event in amateur radio. So that's how we see it.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, I got a few pictures here. Let me just go through them real fast. And, you got 5 seconds to comment about each one.
Okay.
All right. Let me see if I can bring them up here. Let's see if we can bring some pictures up just real quick. That's your website, of course. There we go.
But and that's our entry. That's the entry into the building we're in right now. It's called, we call it affectionately B Road. It's up on Bell Fountain Road in Huber Heights, Ohio, just over to the northeast side of Dayton.
Okay, that's your club there, right?
Yes, sir. That's the entrance to it.
All right. Of course, most people know what that is.
Yep, the good old Hare Arena. That's,
they know what that is. And look, let's talk real quick about the size. This is showing. Let's see. That's the
whole shooting match right there, Tom.
I think that is. Yeah. Well, it's exhibit parking. Now, this does not show the outside flea market, does it?
Yes,
oh, yeah, it does. It does. Okay. Yeah. The buildings are kind of small and condensed here, but how many spots do you have out there when you add the outside and the inside exhibitors?
Yeah. So,
you froze just a second. Do you have a number, approximately how many spots you've got?
okay, there's 2,500 flea market spots, give or take each year, for what might be some of the changes the flea market chairman will make. And under roof of the 5 different buildings is 140,000 square feet. And you have, for the parking area, the flea market area and all that, is 11.1 acres.
It's large. We've got a question in the chat room there. They wanting to know, how much does it cost to put on Hamvention? Now, I know you guys don't want to share that number. I know you don't, but I'm going to tell you, I'm guessing it could be upwards $400,000, $500,000. Am I in the ballpark?
I'm going to take that one since
you're going to take it.
Yeah, I'm going to finance chair. That is, that is information that it is very expensive, and we try not to cut corners, but we're very careful with our spending. But we really kind of want to shy away from talking about what it costs us to do it. However, what I do want to mention is there are around $400 to help make this.
Okay, now Michael, you said there are around, and then you froze for about 4 or 5 seconds. There are around what?
400 volunteers.
Okay.
That don't get paid, and that includes myself or Jim or anybody running Hamvention. We rent the space from Dara Arena. We lease out different items that we can't do ourselves, and golf carts, the porta johns that are outside. There's peripheral things, and then we hire.
I would imagine insurance. You got to have insurance, right?
Oh yeah, that's the big deal, and we're careful to have all of that. And we work with the police departments around. We work with the fire departments and EMS, and we hire out bus service, and we work very closely with our Dayton Convention and Visitors Bureau, and they help spread the word around, and they really help us on things that we may not think of, and they try to put the icing on the cake for us, if you will. We work with the local Hotel Motel Association, and I've met with them in the past. I believe Jim has. So there is a lot that goes on, and I really not going to give out any numbers, but I will tell you this: with the proceeds that we make from Hamvention, we put an awful lot of it back into scholarships. We support ARRL, we support AMSAT, we support many organizations, and many needy. We have a nice clubhouse here where we sponsor trainings and things like that. We put a lot of money back into the community and the amateur radio community, that is. We see that as an important part of our mission.
All right. Well, let's see what we got here next. Let's see. We got of course, that's the whole shooting match there, as Jim said. That's the inside, man. That's the inside kind of blown up. That's a lot of space here.
Yeah. Well, just to give an idea, if people have not been here, but even if you have been, the far left is where you know the arena. Right there, yeah, right there. That's your arena building. And then you go to the right straight there, right where you're going. You go a little bit more to the right down. You're right there at the audio alley down a little bit.
See, here's the audio alley right here. That's audio alley. Yep.
Audio alley in that area right there.
Right here.
And then straight up from that is North Hall.
Yeah.
Well,
there's a real important part here, Jim. See, right here at the end of audio alley, if you turn right and go right here,
yep.
W5KUB is right here.
Right there by the door.
Right there, and we like that spot.
Yep.
And so we call this is the Silver Arena. I don't know why it's called silver. It's yellow.
Yep.
and I mean these buildings they're massive buildings. And let me tell you something.
It's going to silver.
Let me tell you, for the first 30-something years when we were outside, I would come inside and I would get lost. I didn't spend that much time inside, and I would get lost. I could never remember where somebody was. But now that we've moved inside, we know the place very well now, because we'll roll around with our cart and, shoot some video and stuff. So it's massive. I mean, in this area down here, you can bring vehicles in there. I mean, in this area had the big tower.
Yes, yeah, and then we'll be back again this year. We hope. Well, we believe that we'll be back in.
Okay, yeah, we had here. You had a tower,
and that being East Hall.
Yeah, the East Hall.
Yep, that's your East Hall area there, and then Ball Arena was down next to the Silver Arena over there. Right there, there's Ball Arena. So your 5 different areas are represented right there. And that's what I'm calling the 140,000 square foot under roof area for your exhibitors.
Now the ARRL has a major section here. They come out big time, don't they?
Yes, sir, they do.
Wow.
And that has been an agreement with ARRL for a number of years to encompass that area. They manage it. They come in. They bring all of their personnel in. They have themselves quite a number of volunteers that come down each year and support all that. So it's something that we look forward to having them there. They are our big amateur radio, as we hope even us here locally at Hamvention itself and DARA support ARRL.
All right, let's see what's next here. Oh, hey, look at that shot. That's beautiful right there.
That's your aerial shot. And I couldn't tell you what year that's from, but generally you have not had a very big change in that since probably 1973 or 74 in that area like that, Tom. But it gives you an idea. You'll have the balloon launch that will be going off probably Saturday, weather permitting, and they will get that shot. And from different altitudes and stuff like that. That shows up for quite some little distance.
I think this was probably 4 years ago. I think we moved. We've been inside 3 years. Kathy, we've been in 3 years or 2? So I think we've been inside 3 years. But this was taken, I think, the last year we were outside, and right there, I got my mouse. If you blow this picture up, you can see you can see my truck and tent there. So we're in the picture here. And I've got a friend that always says, that's me right over there with the white hat on. I've never found him yet.
I imagine you can see that from space.
Oh, yeah. This is kind of an old shot there. People don't drive that many old cars to there, but this is typical outside flea market.
Correct. And then what you also have, of course, is a lot of the vans, the 10-foot, I don't know, 5-ton, whatever you call them, step vans, trailers, cars, everything on up. Every year they come in here, and it seems like they increase, and the number of tents increase quite a little bit. We see less of the RVs, more of the tents.
Here's a shot of the arena that you were talking about earlier, and this is pretty large. I don't think this picture shows very well how big it really is inside. It's massive. And if you get tired, you can just go sit up there in the stands and take a break.
Yes, generally that's what you can do. A lot of people will do that to just kind of take a breath, as you say, get themselves familiar with who's inside. These are generally the areas where your bigger display areas are. Your new equipment comes in. The ICOM booth is, of course, the screen that you see pretty much center of your picture. Over to the left, the white table's there. That's your prize booth, which that'll, of course, be there at that same area. And we'd have MFJ, and we've had R&L up at their same spots. We believe they'll be back. But they changed a little bit here and there. Our good friends, DX Engineering, take up a good part of that over there from the prize booth going on north. But as you say, that doesn't show it all. That takes about maybe, I'm going to say a little over, probably about 60% of what that area really covers right there.
And you've got Kenwood and ICOM in there. MFJ has a massive amount of area there that they really come big, I think. And, you can't ever know what the weather's going to be like. And, a lot of times, even on great weather weekends, you get a few hours of rain. And that's a good spot. Boy, when it rains, everybody comes inside. So you got a place there to sit down and rest and get out of the rain. Because you'll walk your feet off there for sure.
Yep.
Now, look at there. Look at who I found here.
I wonder who those people are. I wonder who. That's Sir Ace.
That's a Barathi.
Oh, Barathi. I'm sorry.
That's Barathi,
and this guy sitting next to me, of course, he's a little more casual there. And Tom, you look a little more casual.
Well, yeah, a little bit. I look shorter there than I really am. I don't know. I think the camera puts a few extra pounds on you, sideways. I don't think the camera was adjusted right there. And, you never know what you're going to find. Oh, hey, let's talk about parking now. Parking used to be a major problem at Hamvention. Parking was tight. You can park across the street, in those fields. But when it rains, that's not a good place to be over in those fields, believe me. But tell us about the buses.
Yeah, they've got the buses. We've arranging again this year for the same thing. The buses will be running between Salem Mall and Hare Arena, right there at the turnaround as you're showing. And then, as you notice to the left of your picture there, you have the golf carts immediately there. If you need to go back out to, say, the handicapped area, or you want to go over toward the east part of the complex, you can take the carts over that direction.
Yeah. And, hey, it's great parking down here at the mall. That mall has closed, so you got plenty of parking there. And those buses run, about every 10 minutes? It's just great, and it's not too far away.
It's 1.3 miles.
Yeah.
Straight to the west of Hare Arena.
This is a picture of the ARL. It was probably taken before Hamvention opened. There's not a lot of people in here. This place is usually very crowded. And the youth, you always have a big youth forum group, always something going on with the youth there. And we've got a internet slowed down just for a second. You know about how many youth forums you have, or do you have a lot of youth that come?
There's a number of youth that come. Of course, Kara Perry really promotes a lot of that in her forums. They come each year, but the youth forums themselves, to be honest with you, I don't have numbers on that, but it seems to be increasing each year, which is very, very good sign for amateur radio.
Okay. Now, you never know what you're going to see out there. Let me tell you, one year, across from me out there, there was a missile. It was about a 25-foot-long missile, and I wish I had bought that thing. It was leaning up against a van. Wouldn't that have been cool to bring home and stick in your neighbor's yard and put a little dry ice in the tail, and when he woke up in the morning, he saw smoke coming out the tail of that missile? Oh, you guys froze on me again. So you never know what you're going to see there, but here, this is a interesting shot.
A number of law enforcement people.
What was that?
I said I have a number of law enforcement people in my neighborhood. That might not have been the thing to do in my neighborhood. No.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Dayton, Ohio, also is a very well known for the United States Air Force Museum. And if you get here early, that's a wonderful thing to do. It's absolutely free. It's not too far from the Hamvention site, and it is really worth the time to take a look at. So I'm glad you mentioned rockets.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. The space, the Air Force Museum out there. Let's see what else I got here. Let me look here real quick. Of course, that's an interesting. That car's there every year, and maybe he'll have a few more antennas on it this year. you never know what you're going to see there. How you like this shot right here? There's a Tricky Dick right there. He was there.
Yeah.
And then we had, and then my buddy here had to get his picture made with, what's her name? The Baywatch, Kathy? Pamela. Pamela Anderson there, yeah. He had to get his picture made here with Pamela. But, hey, here's a guy walking around. This is interesting. I think he was on 40 meters. He's got like a 33-foot whip strapped to him. He's walking around out there working 40 meters. I don't know how that RF works with his head. Maybe he has a steel plate in here. I don't know. But 40-meter walking around mobile. Here's a shot of one of our guys, Freddie. There, he's got the youth. These young girls here are from the Lee family, the James Lee family, and I think they gave some forums and spoke this year about antennas and different things. And I know they're going to be back speaking again next year, and they are sharp. I'm talking, I mean, extra class license, general class, different licenses. I think the ages run from like 8 and up, but they are sharp. You want to understand antennas, they can explain them to you.
I'm glad you're talking about. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead with this.
All right. Here's the first year Colonel Wheelock came to visit us. You know, after I talked to him so many times, and we sent him some barbecue for his first meal on Earth, and then he started coming to see us, and he started being a co-host on our show. This is the first year we gave him an award. So you see all kinds of people out there that are interesting, and you can see the interest here in Colonel Wheelock. He talked to a lot of people when he was up in the space station, and the lines we had there to get autographs were just tremendous. You know, Mike, I need to talk to you and find out how you control crowds, because I almost couldn't get him out to lunch. I finally put a sign on somebody in the line here saying the line ends here. You know, come back at 2:00. But they kept moving the sign back, you know, to the people behind them. So we almost never got a break. Outside, you got plenty of tents. You're looking for anything, they've got it outside. There's a sample of the crowd walking down the aisles outside. And then you've already mentioned, I think, you know, in your spare time or go a day early, and, man, you can spend an entire day at the Air Force Museum. So it's plenty to see and do.
I might mention, too, Tom, that they're adding another building out there at the Air Force Museum. I don't know.
I think it'll be open.
It possibly, Mike is thinking it's possibly going to be open. It's going to be the 5th building, I believe, out there, 4th or 5th, and it's another large Quonset type suspension, very large museum area. I haven't seen it yet. The last time I saw it was at the Air Force Marathon, and they're putting the roof on it and putting the uppers on it. So it may well be ready by the time May rolls around.
All right, I've tried to look at the chat room occasionally. Kathy, I don't know if you've been monitoring it, but the chat room, I've looked for questions. They've definitely been commenting about the things we've been talking about. Okay, well, hey guys, man, I appreciate you coming on tonight, and we're going to do this a couple more times before Dayton, leading up to the big finale there, you know, and we're going to get the word out and let everybody know about this exciting event going on up here.
Can you hear us?
I hear you now.
Okay. Well, we certainly appreciate the opportunity to get to speak about Hamvention, because, you know, it's in our blood year after year. And we love it when we meet people from all over the world when they come. And we do try very hard to put on a very good show. And we care about everybody that comes. So looking forward to getting the nominations in on the awards. We want to reiterate that again. We need that to happen. And we look forward to talking to you a little bit more as we get further down the road, Tom.
Well, you've got a lot of fans in the chat room. Joe K0NEB said, be sure and say hi to you guys. So, Joe, we did that. And let's see.
Good for Joe. He's probably
Jeff N3V is asking about the attendance last year. Do you remember the approximate number of attendance?
The closest I can come to it is 25,607.
Well, it's started. It's 607. Yeah, it's going up. I think it was a couple thousand more than the year before. So maybe we're on a trend now for this thing to start going back up.
We are. It was 24,500 to some.
And you guys are making some great improvements there in the programming and just the ease of getting in here and doing things. Let me tell you, I don't know if management has changed, but I can remember, 20 years ago, there was a lot of complaints about, how it was run. I don't know if it was done by a private organization or something back then, but whatever you guys are doing, you're making it really nice, and people really appreciate how you've turned things around and made it a very friendly event.
Thank you. We appreciate that. That was due to a lot of diligence on people that had the faith to keep the club going. I don't know the entire history myself. That would be sometime we can sit and talk when we got a little bit more time to talk about that kind of thing, Tom. I don't want to do it and take your time up here, but again, I want to say thank you for myself, for Hamvention. Make sure that you give us some more dates to come on. We would most certainly like to come on and do anything you can do. Anything you can do to help us, we appreciate.
Well, and we're going to do that a couple more times before then. Wow, it's going to be here before you know it. And hey, I'm excited about it. So, hey, you guys are getting great comments in the chat room. They think you guys run that better than the government, than Washington runs the government. So you ought to see the comments, boy. You really turned things around. Yeah.
I like hearing that, but we're not going to go anywhere political right now.
All right, guys. All right. Well, look, we're gonna. I'm gonna go ahead and sign out with you guys, and I've got a segment I'm going to have on here in just a minute. I'm building a 40-meter sideband transceiver. And I'm saying you can build it for under $40. I think you could build it for $12, to tell you the truth. Most of the parts came out of my junk box. I did order a ceramic filter. It was 38 cents. So if you like home brewing, and that's where I came from many years ago, I like to home brew projects like this. So we've started home brewing one, and we're gonna show each stage of it every few weeks here on the show. And tonight we're gonna demo the receiver and let people hear how well this little 2-transistor 1-chip receiver works. It has 29 parts in it. 73s to you guys, and thanks for coming on. And,
73s, and you are exactly following our New Frontiers Radio with building this kit.
Great.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay.
Talk to you later.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. We'll see you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, that was Michael Kalter, W8CI. He is the treasurer and board member of DARA, and we also had Jim Tiderman, N8IDS on, Hamvention General Chair, and also a board member there. So let me make a couple announcements here real quick for everybody listening out there on shortwave. You're listening to radio station WBCQ on 5110, coming out of Monticello, Maine. We'd love to hear from you. If you would like to drop us a line, send an email to Tom at w5kub.com. That's Tom at w5kub.com. Tell us where you are and send us a signal report. We'd love to hear from our shortwave listeners. If you've just tuned in, you can watch this show on the web. We're streaming live video and audio on w5kub.com. So check us out there. Again, I would like everybody to join our Facebook group. We've almost hit 4,000 members for our webcast here. We would like to hit that 4,000 mark this month if we can. And there's a lot of good information on there about where we're going and the events, and it's just a good ham radio site for you to post information to. So we're going to get over to we're going to talk about next. We're going to talk about the transceiver we're building. So let me see. I'm going to hang this call up over here. I'm going to hang the call up. There we go. All right. So that was interesting. We had a few problems with audio or with the internet connection. It looks like I don't know what's happening, but that's happened several times when we've talked to them at their clubhouse. Don't know what kind of internet connection they have there. Okay, let's talk about the Micro 40 transceiver. And you know, this transceiver is not my design, although I'm making a lot of changes to it. Let me select a picture here. If I can find it. There we go. Okay. This transceiver was actually designed by a VK3YE. And the latest build on it was done by AA7EE, and he made several changes to it. Now, I'm building it because it's really very simple, and I want to show people what it can do with almost nothing. So you should be able to build this for $40 or less. I think you could build it much cheaper if you've got a junk box. Now, I've been collecting stuff for many years. Let me see if I can do this. Yeah, I've been collecting parts for many years. I never throw an old radio away or anything, because every resistor and every transistor, every capacitor, everything is good on that radio. So, you know, if you need a 100,000 ohm resistor, you just unsolder it and pull it out. And that's exactly what I put in this radio here, this transceiver. So let's look real close at the transceiver here. The blue at the top is the transmitter. You see 3 transistors. That's it. I mean, there's nothing to it. The first transistor is the microphone preamp. So there's really only 2 transistors in the transmitter. If you look at the center, that is the receiver, and also the voltage controlled oscillator. It's 2 transistors and an NE602 chip. And the secret is, let me see if I can put my mouse on here. Yeah. The secret to this is, if you look at the mouse, right there is a ceramic filter, a 7.2. I used a 7.28 megahertz ceramic filter. And this makes the oscillator both for the receiver and the transmitter. And the way it's tuned is, you've got a tuning pot here. Of course, it's hooked to your 12 volts here, and it's grounded, and then the variable voltage comes off the wiper here, and that puts a voltage across this diode, and this diode actually changes capacitance. And by changing the capacitance, it swings the frequency of this oscillator. And then the bottom section is the audio amplifier. You can build this section here for about $1.30. In fact, there's a little kit on eBay that builds this almost identical circuit here. You can order it for $1.38 with free shipping. So you're starting to see now how cheap this thing can be. Okay, now here's kind of the key part in there. The key part is the ceramic resonator. I've got 2 different ceramic resonators here. The one on the left is a surface mount. It's in a little plastic thing. I haven't even opened it yet. I preferred not to get that, but I had a little trouble finding them at first. The one on the right has 3 wires. That's pretty common. That's a ceramic resonator. Now, any home brewer has junk around, and Kathy's always on me about throwing stuff away, but I don't throw stuff away. This is a printer switch box. They also make Ethernet switch boxes. I mean, nobody nowadays uses a printer switch box. Everything is USB. So you take the box, and it makes a beautiful radio box. You take all the insides out of it, and that's kind of what it looks like right there when you take the insides out. Now you got you a cabinet to build your radio. Okay, so I just read the chat room. Maybe I'm popping the microphone a little bit. I'll try not to do that. I was getting excited about this radio. So I start laying out the all the parts, you know, where I want to put them on here. So there's my case, and I start thinking, okay, how do I want the front to look? So I've got the volume control on the left, the tuning on the right. I've got my speaker jack and our earphone jack on the left bottom, and I'm going to put a microphone jack on the bottom right. Now what you're seeing in the center, that's not part of this design, but I'm planning ahead. That is a liquid crystal display you can buy on eBay, probably for $8. And I'm going to build an Arduino DDS VFO, and I'm going to put that VFO in here, and it will have digital readout all the way up and down the entire band. So we're going to do that later. Here was the first step in the build right here. This is the audio amplifier section. Oh, look at the circuit board. I didn't have a large enough circuit board to fit in the case, so I just soldered two boards together. So that's the nice thing about home brewing. You just use what you've got. So that's the audio amplifier. $1.30 worth of parts. All right. So here it is again. Now with the receiver built. The receiver is on the right side. The receiver is 2 transistors and a NE602 chip. That chip's about $1. Transistors are, 25 cents a piece. And if you look there, some of those parts are kind of large, like the capacitors. Let's see this capacitor I got right here and right here. The reason they're large is that probably came out of a TV set probably 50 years ago, and back then things were much larger. So every part in there basically is a used part. I did order this pot down here. I had plenty of pots in the junk box. This is 100K. You're going to hear in a minute in the video I reference as a 10K pot, but it's really a 100K pot. I meant to say it was a 10 turn. Now the original build on this, if you look on the internet, the original build had just a regular pot in here. That means the knob only turns about 340 degrees. That's less than one full revolution. So you can see if you're tuning the sideband, if it only turns one, less than one turn, you don't have much band spread. So I just put a pot in here that's got 10 turns. This is a 10-turn pot. I ordered this pot. It was $2 and something. And when you turn this knob, this is a variable resistor. When you turn a knob, it actually takes 10 turns to go from one end to the other. It does the same as a pot that only has less than one turn. So this gives me great fine-tuning. Now, you're going to have to wind a couple toroid transformers, and you can buy these toroids on eBay for just a few dollars. You can get them in quantities of 5, or one of the toroids, it came in, I think, quantities of 25. But the wire, they don't even specify wire size, because in this particular application the wire size is not that critical. It's the number of turns. Now on my unit, and we're going to show it in a little while how it works, I I get a little bit of broadcast band radio stations that kind of bleed over into it. It's not that bad, but there is a filter you can put in that will take the broadcast band out. And this is basically what it is. It's a filter made up of some capacitors across here and a couple toroids here. 29 turns on a T37-2. Again, you can order these. If you put this in the antenna circuit, this will filter out the AM broadcast station. Now you wonder, well, where do I get wire? Well, you'd never throw anything away. This is an old transformer I got out of the junk box. You can see the laminated iron pieces here. We pulled them out. And that wire on these transformers is perfect. It's enamel coated, and that's the kind of wire you need. You don't have to go out and buy it. You probably got it somewhere on a piece of junk. So there's the receiver, just kind of laying in the box so I can see where different parts are going to go. I moved the antenna from this end down to this end because I'm getting ready to build a transmitter now. The transmitter is going to go right here in this circle right here. So again, audio amp at the top, receiver on the left. The transmitter is going to go here. I've already glued in my relay. This is a little double pole, double throw 12-volt relay that I've got glued in. So here it is on my desk over there, hooked to an antenna. Power supply hooked to it, and I'm going to now show you how it works. Let me see. Okay, here's another shot of it again from the above. You can see the holes for the tuning, for the audio, and you've noticed I've left some space open in the center here. I've left quite a bit of space open. That's because I'm going to cut a rectangle hole. If all this works well, I'm going to cut a rectangle hole in the front and put the Arduino DDS VFO in here, and it'll come back probably to about right there. Just some quick information. Here's the 7.2 megahertz resonator. Look at the price. This is probably the part you're going to have to buy. This is not something you're going to readily find in a junk box. You need if you want to be in 40 meters, you need a 7.2 megahertz, or I'm using a 7.28. But I ordered a couple of these today. Actually, I ordered 5 of these today, I think. Now, Kathy's over here. She's probably hearing me say I ordered these, but hey, at 32 cents each, let's see, 5 of them. Let's see, 26 cents each. You can't go wrong, can you? And this is the heart of the whole receiver here and transceiver. Now, I mentioned to you that the diode is what tunes the frequency. It's just a regular rectifier diode. You can take it out of anything. So I tried different diodes because different diodes are going to have different internal capacitance. So, here's diode 1. I got a frequency range of 7140 to 7200. Diode 2, I had a range of 7133 to 7200. Diode 3 is 7122 to 7190. I did find by taking that center lead off of ground, by taking that center lead loose from ground, I was able to see a band spread of like 7140 to 7250, which is pretty wide. Now, let's say we build this and everything works as it's supposed to. We're going to then build the VFO. So the VFO is going to come last. In fact, before I cut the hole in the case, I'm going to breadboard this and put the VFO on here and hook it up and make sure it works. Then if it works, then I'll cut the rectangle hole in the case, in this case right here, and I'll put the display in the case right there. All right, so that's the schematic for the Arduino VFO. It's rock solid. It's it doesn't have hardly any drift. It's probably solid to 1 part in a million. And there's only 3 parts in an Arduino DDS. Basically, you got your front LCD right here. You've got the Arduino. You can get the little Uno, which is the little small Arduino. And this LCD might cost $7 or $8. The Arduino, I don't know. I hadn't bought one in a couple years. The Arduino might cost $2. And then this little component here is the DDS. I'm not sure the cost on that, but I think you could probably build the entire VFO for less than $15 or $20. So that's kind of what it looks like breadboarded. You've got your display. You've got your knob that tunes the frequency, and you've got the Arduino, the DDS board. Now, the nice thing about this knob is it's a little encoder knob. I'll take that blue pot out, and I will put this encoder knob in. And this you can program the Arduino where you press the button in, and it gives you like 10 hertz tuning. Press the button in again, it can give you 100 hertz tuning. Press it in again, 1,000 hertz. So, so it's pretty cool. So you press it in, you get whatever range you want here, and then you turn the knob, and the frequency there is the Arduino VFO is going to go through the frequency. And believe me, that Arduino DDS will actually do from 1 megahertz to 50 megahertz easily. So we're just going to use the 40 meter range. We're going to go from 7.000 to 7.3. So that's what the Arduino is going to look like when we add it to that. Now, I've got a little video here. I want you to hear how this receiver works. I hooked it up to an antenna, and I recorded me tuning around. And I want you to listen to how well it sounds. Now, this is not a $1,000 receiver. It's actually a $10 receiver. But I want you to hear the quality of the sound that comes out of it. So I'm going to put that video on right now, and let me see if it will play here. Here we go. Okay, guys, I want to show you the progress we're making on the Micro 40 double sideband 40 meter transceiver. This is it breadboarded. As you can see over on the lower left here, that's the audio circuitry, and over here on the right side is the receiver. And it's very simple. We have 2 transistors and one NE602 chip. So it's very simple. This whole receiver has less than 30 parts in it, and no part in here probably costs more than 50 cents. I mean, you could build this very cheaply. What we plan on doing is doing it in stages. Our next stage will build the transmitter over in this section right here. The transmitter is a 3 transistor transmitter, and it'll be built in this section right here. But let me turn the volume up and let you hear how this thing's working. It's working pretty good. Got to make some improvements to it. Here's the tuning down here. I've got a vice grip holding the tuning in place.
Why did you have any tax with it either? Did you get a return slip where you can take it back?
So this is 40 meters.
Offer me a slink.
So the tuning.
Whiskey 4 American Word Gate.
This pretty fine tuning. I got a 10K pot.
Whiskey 4, all is God, man. Yeah,
so you can fine tune the signal very easily.
Really running into some rough times in this world. It could be worse, I guess. And the 7850 is 30 dB difference in
So it's got a very good band spread on it right now.
That's good. And I'll turn it over to W3SO. Somebody else's.
Yeah, exactly. My surroundings are just are fine, but when you listen to the TV, it sounds.
My extra license, and I just wanted a short call. I enjoy a lot of DXing and contesting, so 4 is better than 6 when you're doing that kind of stuff. Origination. Captain Brew is a puppet that Captain Dave's need. He's a real talented ventriloquist.
So,
Okay. I was just curious.
all right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop it there. It had a few more minutes of the video. I was real proud of the way it worked. I think you can see that. The receiver works, and let me tell you, I substituted parts like crazy. There's probably not a part in here that was on the schematic, to tell you the truth. It may be a few resistors or something, but the parts are not critical. I mean, there's a few critical, but for the most part, you can substitute capacitors, resistors, all those things. I mean, I could have substituted the tuning pot. The transistors can be just about any type of NPN transistor, again, all junk box parts. So you can see the case is coming along pretty nicely. I've already drilled a hole in the back, and I put the antenna connector on here. I put the power input connector here, and I'm going to leave the tuning in for now. I've got my mic jack in there. It's one of those 4-pin mic jacks, and I've got me a mic that's going to plug onto it. I saw in a chat room they were asking about how much power does it run. I don't know. I figure it's probably 1 or 2 watts. It may be up to 5 watts. I want to show you something. This is the entire transmitter. That's the entire transmitter there. An NPN driver transistor and a final transistor. Again, the heat sink, I put a heat sink on there. I got it out of the junk box. But the original plans don't even have a heat sink on the final. But I put one on there because I've got tons of them in the junk box. So we're going to do this. Let me get a different camera on here. Oh, another thing, when you find you a box, draw you a little template out that has, where you want your knobs and stuff, lay it out. And that's what I did. I drew me a little template out. I laid it on the box here, and took something sharp, marked where I want to drill my holes. I drilled it. Now I will paint the box, and I'll paint the box, and it'll look a lot better. And then of course the cover. Of course you can't beat these boxes, and the cover will just slide over it, nice and solid, and that right there will be a 40-meter double sideband transceiver that you can make contacts with on the air. So that's our next step in showing it. I've got the receiver working. I think you heard it work, and my next step will be to build a transmitter up and test it. And I want to find somebody on that watches our show, and we'll coordinate this on Facebook. But when I get ready to test this, I want to find some of you guys out there that can make a contact with me And you will win the award, which is nothing other than being the first to contact us on this radio. But we're going to have you make a contact with us. Now, one of the guys you heard on here a minute ago, I think was Dan. He gets on. He's probably listening on here tonight. He's on the chat room, and he gets on Hangout after the show. I call him Doc. But I ran across him by accident. He's in eastern Tennessee. So let me see what the chat room is saying. Schematic and parts list. I'll tell you what, if you'll just do a search, on the internet for Micro 40, a search for Micro 40, you will see it. Now, mine's not going to be as pretty as some of the other builds. Now, here's the build that AA7EE did, and look how pretty this is, man. I mean, you know, he really is like an artist, and that's laying out the transmitter there in the back and the receiver and so forth. I mean, isn't it pretty? So if you just do a search on the internet for Micro 40, you'll find this, and I guarantee you, this thing works. You saw the receiver work. I'm going to see how I can't go wrong on a transmitter, because I mean, the transmitter's only got like 6 or 7 parts total in it. I mean, how can you screw that up? You know, so I think it's going to work okay. So I'm really excited about trying it here. Let's see. Yeah, any questions out there? Yeah, well, Russ, maybe we'll talk to you. And Glenn, I saw Glenn a while ago told me that he's going to have to teach me how to use perf board. I built a lot of projects on perf board, and you can build this on perf board. You don't even have to have a copper-clad board. Just get a little perf board with the holes in it, stick the parts through it, bend the leads on the backside, and solder them together. Well, there's a picture, Glenn. There's the schematic is in the it's in that article I gave you on the internet about the broadcast filter. You noticed we heard mostly a sideband, but I don't know if you listened, you might have heard a little bit of AM in there from time to time. It kind of fades in and out. The schematic with the Arduino. Okay, well, let me tell you now. Glenn's on here. Glenn KG5GW. Is it no GP? Hang on. KW5GP. I can never get Glenn's call right. Yeah, Glenn's been on our show many times, and we're planning on having him on again. He is the Arduino man. He's in the chat room right now. Glenn is the author of the ARRL book called Arduino for Ham Radio, and he has a lot of ham radio Arduino projects in there. I think the DDS VFO may be in there. If not, you could do a search on it and find it anywhere on the internet. Now, it works by loading, and the software is already written. You just copy the software and you load it in the chip. And you know, I need to talk to Glenn about this. So here's what I want to do. On the display, that display can show the frequency. It can also show RIT, RIT, if you want to have RIT on there. It will show you, if you get, 10 cycle, 100 cycle, 1,000 cycle steps, all that shows up on the display. And there's even software that shows up an S meter. You can actually have an S meter on that same little liquid crystal display. Now, I don't know about this receiver where I could pull off an S meter, but I think it'd be possible to find something, or maybe add possibly one more transistor or something. I don't know, to measure that RF coming in. So the only thing that I'm a little not real happy about, the audio amplifier is not real loud. that little chip can be set to have a massive amount of gain. We did not set it like that. But I've just plugged a little amplified, computer speakers. I've plugged them into it, and boy, it is loud. And I'm thinking, well, if this thing works out good, maybe I'll put me a little, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 watt audio amplifier chip, inside there, and replace that whole little audio section just to get more audio. But for headphones, it'd be great. If you want to run a speaker right now, I'm plugging in, an amplified computer speaker into it. We want to know what it takes to power the radio. It's just 12 volts. 12 volts and very low current. I think it would probably run on less. There's one place in here where we do use a 9-volt Zener diode, so to regulate the voltage on the VXO, the variable crystal oscillator. So I would think your voltage would need to be 9 volts or higher. But 12 volts is pretty standard everywhere. You could probably run this on. I don't know. I have to, that's been a question. You might be able to run it on a 9-volt battery. I don't know how long it lasts. Well, yeah, Mike, it's got a LM386 in it. That's or I don't know if you're saying add a second one, but that's what the audio amp is, an LM386. And we don't have the gain set high. You can get gain of like 200,000 out of an LM386 if you just put a feedback capacitor from the output to the input. It makes the gain go really high. But when you have high gain like that, it also comes with hiss. And you don't want a lot of hiss, on the receiver. So we kept the gain low, and but that's not a big issue right now. The audio amp, I'm just very happy that it tuned the frequencies so well and copied so well. And I can only think that the transmitter's got to work. So, oh man, let's see. Well, I could run it on solar cells for sure. I've got a couple solar panels here that would definitely run it. Yeah, Glenn's already thinking about the ALC where we could maybe get a signal strength from it. Glenn, I think we could pick the signal off somewhere. And we might could even fool it if we can't find. Tell you what, if you can't find a place that you can pick the RF signal off, we could fudge. We could actually pick the audio off, because audio levels are going to be different. A strong station is going to have very high audio, or a weaker station is going to have less, and so forth. And you might can make a little, a little fictitious S meter based on that. Yeah. Yeah, it's a double sideband. It's very low power. I heard somebody say, well, that might make somebody mad, but actually I don't think it will. When you're running just a couple watts like that, you're not gonna tick off very many people, I don't think. There's actually some videos out there on YouTube where people have built these and actually made contacts and checked into nets. So if you want to hear how it works on transmit and so forth, and checking into nets, those videos are out there. But yeah, once I get this thing done, we are going to find somebody in the group here, and we're going to make you the give you the honor, I guess, of working the homebrew sideband radio. All right, well, I'll tell you what, that's about all we had for the show tonight, other than we're going to go to Hangout now, and we're going to invite everybody to join us in our Hangout. And this is where we can have up to 10 people join us on the webcast. The webcast stays on. If you join us, your picture's going out just like you're on the show with us. And we can have up to 10 people. at a time, and the 10 people are all on there at one time, and whoever talks, their picture goes full screen, and whoever's listening, they were a little postage stamp picture. So I'm going to get on Hangout here. Hopefully Doc will be on here. I know that was Doc that I copied on it, and I want to say hi to Doc there. Hopefully he'll be in the Hangout. Kathy sent the link out for Hangout. If you'll click on that link, that should get you connected to the show. And I'd like to just make, again, before I go over there, you guys can go ahead and start getting on Hangout if you want to. I'd just like to say hello to our shortwave listeners. You're listening on WBCQ 5110 out of Monticello, Maine, United States of America. And if you tuned in tonight on shortwave, please send us an email and give us your signal report, your location, and man, we'd just love to hear from you and help us spread the word. And we're going to try to make this more of a shortwave and ham radio webcast. And we are webcasting on w5kub.com if you want to watch. So, again, if you haven't joined our Facebook group, please click on the link above and join our Facebook group. We need about 60 more people to reach that 4,000 mark, and that'll be a great milestone for the webcast to have that 4,000 number. We've got a good show coming up next week. Let me tell you, the show coming up next week is going to be with Alan Weiner. Alan is the owner of WBCQ Radio, the shortwave station that we're on now. He's legal, he's licensed, but Alan is a radio pirate. And back in around 1987, and we're going to have to get Alan to tell his story, but about 1987, he put on a pirate radio station offshore near New York. They bought this massive ship and took it out in the ocean and put a radio station on. And the FCC, the Coast Guard, the FBI, everybody went out there after 5 days and shut him down, I think arrested him, and took him to court. I think he came out okay. I'm not sure what the penalty was there, but anyway, he's still living, I can say that, and he's got a licensed station now. But it's very interesting about the ship. He's got the ship called Sarah, and he had it registered under the country Honduras, and he was out in international waters. And my understanding is he felt like he's in international waters. The FCC has no jurisdiction. So anyway, the FCC did get him. I think they said there was some kind of loophole or rule that says, it's an international rule that says you can't transmit, you can't broadcast from a ship or an airplane. I didn't know that myself, but I think that's what they got him on. So they arrested him again, arrested him. But he had it registered under the Honduras flag. So I think he sold the ship to somebody he knew. This person actually owned an island out in the ocean somewhere. It was a little fort. It was almost nothing. Now, this is all from my reading and studying. They named this little island because this little island was not in any country. They named this island a new country, and they re-registered the ship under that country's name and tried it again. But I think the FCC told them there was no such country, and they shut him down again. Now, just the last comment on this show, if you watch the movie Blown Away, it's about a 1992 to 1994 movie. There was a big finale, I think, in the film where they blew up this ship in the movie Blown Away. Massive explosions. Well, that ship was Alan's ship that he bought to be a radio pirate. It was the Sarah, I understand, and MGM bought that, and they blew up that ship in the movie. Now, the story goes on and on. You're gonna be really interested in this story. But anyway, Alan collects military surplus, and he's a big collector of radar, military radar. He's even got some working radar systems. And as I said, he's the owner of WBCQ. So we're looking real forward to having Alan on next week. It ought to be a great show. So I'm going to go to Hangout. So everybody just stand by a minute, and I'll be right back with you.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question. It will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
All right, I think I'm in Hangout. I'm really surprised I don't see anybody in here tonight. And usually we've had as many as 10 people in an evening there, so we'll stand by a minute. Tell you what I'll do. In the meantime, I'll open up the phone line if anybody wants to call in. So let me put the number up there, phone number up there. And if you guys want to call in and get on the show and say hello, you can do that. Let's see. Oh, there we go. We got a person in there. Hey, Doc.
Hey, Tom.
Did you see the show?
Just the last half of it.
You didn't see the part where I had a recording of you talking to somebody? I know that was you.
I don't think so. That was
Okay.
on 40 meters. I haven't been on 40 in a little while.
Well, you haven't? Now, this sounded like you. Maybe it wasn't you. You hadn't been on 40 meters the last few days?
No, I went to the bowl game down in
Okay,
Tampa.
well, wasn't you? Boy, I tell you, I sure thought, I didn't hear any calls, but I thought it was you. I really did. Okay. Anyway, I was demonstrating the little receiver we built, and it was tuning in people just really.
Yeah, it sounded
really
good.
Yeah, let me get you on here. Let's see. There we go. Let me put me up here. Okay, and let me do a little adjustment here. So
Sounded really good, actually.
So you heard the receiver working, or?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it did. It surprised me. It worked first time. I mean, usually I have to kind of troubleshoot and figure out what I did wrong, but it
sounded good.
It worked okay. Now let me think here what I was going to do. I've got too many computers hooked up here. Now I'm going between 1, 2, and 3. Let's see. I'm going to put up the phone number. Let's just see if anybody wants to call in. It maybe don't have. There we go. So I got the phone number up. If anybody wants to call in and say hello, you can be on here by phone. You don't have to be in here with Hangout. But we got Doc in here, and hey, where's our Colorado guy? I saw him in a chat room earlier.
Montana.
Oh, Montana, yeah.
Yeah, William.
Yeah, William. Where is he?
I don't know. Maybe he's still skiing.
Well, he was in the chat room. So I don't know.
Any 4RD, isn't that him?
He's looking for a cigar.
Yeah, there's Jeff.
There's
Okay,
Jeff.
somebody
Hey,
said,
Jeff.
Mike said, sorry, Tom,
Hey.
I'm on his said too much. That's Glenn Patton. I'm not sure who Glenn Patton is. Maybe that's who I was talking. I copied on the radio. I don't know. The person I thought was you was talking to a W4AWG. He said this is W4 American wire gauge. But it sure sounded like you. He could have been your twin brother.
Oh, that sounds good. Well, I'm sure he had a melodious voice.
It didn't break the receiver, so it did okay.
That wasn't me then.
All right. Well, let's see. Okay, NE4RD out in Montana. He says he's upstairs, so I don't know what that means. He's got a computer, or he couldn't be typing to us in the chat room. I guess he can't join us to smoke, is what the deal is.
He's
upstairs.
He's in the
Yeah.
doghouse.
Yeah, probably. Oh, he's headed down to the shack, so he'll be joining us here in a minute. So, Jeff, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, man. Oh, I love that. I love the colors in that station, man. Oh, gee, everything looks so pretty there. Your clock up there, your geo, whatever you call it, and your
Geocron.
Yeah. Did I just need to check, man? Did you ever get me in your wheel?
I'll see you in Dayton.
We haven't talked about it in a long time. I just, hadn't heard, and I just wanted to check,
We'll talk at Dayton.
All right, you gonna be there?
God willing, yeah.
Okay, great. Well, come by and see us there.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, and hey, you're a member of the team here with us, man. We're just gonna give you the camera and the microphone. I'm gonna go off and get a hot dog or walk around or do something. I need a break.
I'm sure you do.
Where are you going to go?
We're talking about Dayton. I'm just gonna leave the booth for a while. Get Jeff to man it, and grab people and put them on the camera. There we go. And you know what? Oh man, I hate this. I don't have the version that has the names on it again. So okay, guys,
William.
I'm gonna hit William. I'm gonna hit the hamburger again. I don't know why they call it hamburger. It don't look like a hamburger to me. I'm gonna hit the hamburger. I'm gonna go out and come back in. Here I go. I'm gonna go to original version. I wish I could keep it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and sign off of the shortwave station here. We've got it to about 9:30, and it's 9:30. So we'll see all our friends out there on WBCQ International Shortwave Station. Tune in next week, and we'd love to have you. All right, so now I got names. Man, I wish I could turn it off. I won't. Why did he put?
Looks like I'm muted now.
I'm muted.
The little picture there.
Yeah,
anyway.
I was muted. You weren't muted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your picture just went away, Tom. There's an icon here of you in a hard hat.
You're back here.
Am I back? Yeah. I had to change back to the beta or original version. Why do they create a new version and take something as nice off as the names down here? I like the names because I can't remember.
Me too.
Yeah, let's see. Mike VE3MIC says he loves the classic analog clocks. Let's see what's going on. Okay, Mike said he was on a headset. Too much QRM.
Those analog clocks, Tom, are the MFJ.
I guess talking about your clocks.
Yeah, they're the MFJ atomic radio clocks.
Okay.
And one thing I don't understand is why they don't. They only in the United States or anywhere I can find. They only sell like the 4 time zones. So what I had to do is I had to experiment and take the one apart to get UTC on the other one to work and actually work with the radio.
Wow.
But I could just pull the hands off and go back 4 hours and figure out daylight savings time or not. And so I got it working.
Yeah, that's a pretty good hack. Just move the hands, right?
Yeah.
I didn't think of that. Man, I'd have been in here with a soldering iron trying to fix it.
No, not in this little thing. And I actually have the second hands. I got the second hands working.
I would have taken the spring out and shortened it a little bit or whatever's in there.
The spring.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kurt up in New Jersey, he's lighting up his pipe. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up on the chat room here. Yeah, Glenn Popel, when are you going to find time to come back and be on the show here? And Glenn, I'm going to need some help on I'm rusty on Arduino. I need to build the DDS. I know it's easy. All I got to do is hook wires up. But I'm a little dumb on how to load the software, so that's where I need help. And I know there are some variations of the software. I just need a good little VFO. So, Glenn, I'm gonna need your help to program me a VFO. Well, I guess the show went okay tonight. We lost the Dayton guys 4 or 5 times. Every time I talk to them there at the clubhouse, it seems their internet is kind of intermittent. I don't know why, but if you guys watch it, you probably saw him freeze a few times.
We probably need to send him a couple more dollars.
Well, we might, you know. So Mike said he got home and missed the show tonight. Well, we'll have the reruns on, Mike, tonight. So.
Yeah, I had to run to the lake house to deliver some stuff up there, so I missed the first half of the show.
Yeah, that was a Dayton update, and basically they're wanting to get the word out. If anybody wants to nominate anybody for any of the awards, go to the website and click on it and write it up.
William and I could get the cigar award.
You could. I could. You know, I think people
let me
can
give
share.
myself some volume here. Jeez.
I think people can share an award like that. So, yeah, we could write both you guys up.
Yeah, the Ham Radio Cigar Propagation Award.
There you go.
Yeah, somebody needs to get those guys to a good microphone over there. Jeez.
Well, you know, they called me about 20 till 8, and they had a external. Jim had an external camera on a computer, and man, it looked really bad. The colors were really hot. It looked like the saturation was off. The white balance was off. The saturation was off. Everything was off, and it just kept getting worse and worse. And finally, Michael Kalter turned his laptop on, and we used the internal camera in his laptop, and that's what we did the show on. So I'm sure he was probably, they were probably sitting, 6-7 feet away probably from the mic.
Yeah, well, it just sounded real roomy and stuff like that in there, and
yeah,
it's kind of hard to
that's a big
understand
room they're in. Yeah, big room they're in and everything. So, if they have time next time, maybe we'll test a little bit more and try some different things, make some recommendations. And the thing that bothers me more than anything is the freeze ups that we were seeing.
Yeah.
What are we smoking tonight, Cuban or Honduran? That's the question in the chat room.
I'm smoking a Victor Sinclair Limited Cameroon.
That's made down in Olive Branch, Mississippi, isn't it?
It might be.
And I'm doing a Romeo and Julieta.
All right, those are good.
Yeah, Clemenceau.
Let me see if I can give the hangout again. People are asking about it. If you look at the top of the chat room, the hangout, the link is in the hangout. It's in the topic in the above the chat room, but I'm going to post it again. I don't know if you can click on the link up in the topic or not. You may just have to copy it. You may have did somebody click on it, or is it clickable?
I just copy and pasted it.
Yeah, okay. That may be what you have to do.
Yeah, it's not clickable in my app, but I know when it comes across when you text to the just like a regular chat text, and you can click it from there. But it all depends on your client.
Yeah. Well, there's Dan. Hey, Dan, how you doing up there? And Apple, what is that? Applesauce. What is it? Appleton, Wisconsin, right?
Yep.
All right, man. It's starting to get.
I had a former brother-in-law that played minor league baseball up there.
Probably for the Appleton Foxes.
Yeah, I guess it was a farm club for the White Sox.
Yep, Appleton Foxes. Yep.
Oh.
That was years ago.
Yeah, that was back in the early '80s.
Years ago.
Hey, Tom.
Now they got a whole different stadium, and it's a farm club for the Brewers.
Yeah, who you yelled? Jeff yelled? What do you want?
I did. I've got a question. Have you ever won an award from the Hamvention?
Yeah, you must have missed the show.
I missed the short segment. I did.
Yeah, here's the. This is
Okay.
This is last year's. Let me see where's my mouse at. I can't figure this thing out. Let's see.
Oh yeah, your special
Let's
achievement
see.
award.
Let's see. This is the. Yeah. This is the special achievement award they gave me last year.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. So.
Well, let's nominate you for the Amateur of the Year award this year. Why don't we do that?
Well,
There you
some people have won it several years in a row, but I don't know.
Hey, did you get that new amp, Jeff?
Get the what?
Yes, I do have a new amp.
Oh, where's it at? I don't see it in the picture. You should like framed it.
Let me see if I can get it. It's down here.
Is it glowing yet?
It's glowing.
It's solid state, right?
It's solid state. It's got a. I might be able to. Let's see if I can get something showing here. Look at all my stuff working. Turn my.
You're about 20. You're about 20 over here, Jeff.
You're
Working great.
you're running three on Hangout. You're running 3 full green dots.
I'll turn the amplifier down. I won't need it tonight.
You're running barefoot tonight.
In fact, the band.
Why QRP when you can QRO, right?
In fact, the band conditions must be pretty good. Everybody's running 3 green dots tonight.
But instead of meteor scatter, we're running smoke scatter.
Yeah, exactly. I'm ionizing my garage.
So, guys, here's the plan. Next week we've got the 12th. We got the show with the Pirate, and then the 19th we're not going to have a show. The 19th I'm not going to be around for the 19th. I'm going to be somewhere around the Panama Canal, I think, on a cruise, and then I'll be back the 25th. We'll have the show on the 26th. I think we've got Hamcation from Orlando going to be on, and a few others going to be on the 26th. And then 3 days later, I'm going to go down, and I think I'm going to webcast the Jackson, Mississippi Hamfest 3 days later, if I'm not too tired. And then we get back to a normal man, and then it'll be February, month of January.
If you're going to be in the canal zone, you can run KZ4. And,
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Well, I probably could. If I had my little sideband transceiver here working, I could take it with me and go up on the deck here and stretch me out a 40-meter dipole or something.
Yeah, you just sneak one of these on board or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. You know, they've got these ham radio cruises that I think leave out of New Orleans or somewhere once a year that you can actually use their equipment and operate while you're down here. And let's see, we had that's old Mike join us.
Hello.
How you doing,
Howdy.
Mike?
Good evening, fellers.
Good evening.
Say howdy.
Yeah, I missed your whole show tonight. I just got home at the very end. Wife and I went to see Star Wars tonight, so that took preference over you tonight.
Man. Well, I haven't seen it, but I imagine it's a blockbuster, man. They sold like $100 million in tickets the first 14 days, I think.
Well, the theaters here were so packed day after day after day. We waited until the public school started and went on a weeknight, so there wasn't everybody in there. Kids had to be up for school in the morning. So I think there were like 20 of us in the theater tonight. It was nice.
Oh yeah. Well,
Did you like it?
Oh yeah, and I can see they're going to have a sequel.
Uh-oh.
Well, maybe they'll have it on the cruise. Maybe they'll have it on a movie on the cruise, and I can watch it there.
Yeah, they've already said that the release date of episode 8 is May 27th, 2017. So.
Oh,
yeah. That's the way it ended. You knew there was going to be another one coming. So. Yeah, that's good. I like it. They're really
I thought this was supposed to be the last one or something.
Yeah, sure.
With that kind of money, how can you pass up the opportunity, though, right?
Free money for Disney. I got to pay for that acquisition.
So much ahead of time on this one. They're already going to be starting on the next one.
I put the phone number up. We got a lot of shy people out there. Nobody's calling the phone number. I figured if they'd call, it would bust everybody's eardrums because I have no control over the ringtone. Somebody call us. 901-729-9451. If you don't want to get on the camera, give us a call on the phone.
So anybody doing NAQP this weekend? I guess not. Huh?
I guess not.
I don't think I'm going to be operating this weekend, but maybe I will.
Yeah, it's CW this weekend, and next weekend it's sideband.
Well, my project today was I froze my fingers.
Frozen?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I told you last week I ordered a double bazooka from Radio.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Please. Yeah, they came yesterday, so yeah, it was about 20 degrees out there with the wind blowing.
Yeah.
Took me a couple hours, but I pulled the rope down and the old dipole's been for 25 years and put the bazooka up. So it took me a couple hours. I had to come in once, let the fingers thaw out, but hey, it's working great. So that's when you got to put a tin up.
Good.
That's good.
All right, got to put the time in.
Just tromp through the snow.
Well, it's 30 degrees here right now. It's
30.
about 23 this morning in East Tennessee.
Wow, it's 32 here now. That's the coldest it's been in a long time.
Yeah, I'm at 26 here. Anything over 30 that's getting warm.
I think it made it up to 50 today here.
It's warm here, 32.
Well, Kurt's saying that the silent, the straight key. I don't know why I keep calling it the silent key. Gee, they need to change their letters. The straight key.
You're killing everybody off.
Yeah. The straight key, SKCC, is the 10th anniversary this month. Special event, work K3Y. Yeah, Mike, if you missed the show, it's recording right now, and it'll be on tonight and tomorrow. And the first half was talking about, Dayton Hamvention, and the last half was about the 40-meter transceiver we're building.
Yeah, I'll YouTube it. I see you got the sound fix from the show last week.
Oh, man, let me tell you. Well, oh, gee. And, I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but they let you edit things somewhat. And, I mean, there was one song last pre-show. We usually play music here. We play about 15 minutes of music. That way the shortwave station knows we're on, and people like hearing the music, so we'll play some music. And I do have a contract or a license with BMI to play music on the web here. I'm paying for that, but YouTube doesn't know that, and
there it is.
YouTube doesn't know that. So when they hear a song that's copyrighted, then they do weird things, and they either. Most of the time, they will say copyright content or something, and it says, if you will allow commercials, some commercials to be added to your video, then I don't have to do anything. The artist accepts it. So usually, I just don't even worry about all those songs. Germany, my video is blocked in Germany every time because every song in Germany is blocked, so they block the video completely in Germany. But I had one song on there last week, Do You Love Me by the Contours, and they muted the entire video, my entire 2.5-hour video for that song. And that was the very first song that played from 000 to 2 minutes into the pre-show, and they muted the entire show. And sometimes you can remove those songs, sometimes you can't. But okay, so I hit remove, and you say save, and then it goes into the editing mode and it starts making the adjustments. Well, it takes about 6 hours to process that. So then it came back, and I thought, okay. Then they also got a little thing on here where I can trim the video. So I normally trim off the first 15 minutes of music to where the show starts correctly on the video. So I try to trim it off, and I hit save. And after 8 hours, it comes back, and it's all screwed up like terrible. The sound is like 3 minutes ahead of the voice. I mean, the sound's like 3 minutes ahead of the lips. It's just terrible. So then there's a button on there you can revert back to the original video. So I hit that. That took 8 hours to go back to the original video. And then I took the song out again, and that took 8 hours to take it out. And I said, the heck with this. I'm leaving the first 15 minutes of music on here. So I don't know.
Tom, maybe you just need to scroll something that's got your license across there while you're playing the
they've got
music.
some type content detector, and see, it won't even do me any good to tell YouTube that. If I have a challenge to that, YouTube tells me to take it directly to the people that place the thing on it. So I'd have to go straight to the contours or whoever and chat and say, I've got this license. And then they may say, okay, no problem, you can have it back on this video. But then next week, when I do it, YouTube's going to flag it again.
Yep.
And I'd have to do it every week, So I've found, and I've edited some of my playlists that I've taken. I tell you, you do not play an Eagles song. Do not do that at all, man. They will block the thing for every country in the world. They'll block it if it's Eagles. And let's see what else. Oh, I had some Fleetwood.
Call Joe Walsh.
Yeah, I had some Fleetwood Mac songs, and I just played one of them just to test it. It was blocked in 245 countries. So I marked Fleetwood off, and I've marked the Eagles off my playlist. And when I find a song that causes me trouble, I'll delete it off my playlist, and then I just get the contact. I just get that note that hey, this song is copyrighted. This one is. This one. I usually get about 5 or 6 copyright notices, but they say it's okay if I'll just accept the fact that the people, the artists could advertise on my video if they wanted to. And the thing is, that's just on the recorded piece. They don't do anything to you on the live stuff. So yeah, if you look at some of the videos, you're going to see little ads pop up, on the videos. But you don't see it you don't see it here. And once we went to YouTube and got off of Ustream, I haven't had one single complaint, not one night since we've changed, about buffering or problems. I mean, man,
you've been working great since you did that.
It's been doing good, and also, YouTube allows the high def, if I can get it in there, where Ustream was just standard def. That's all they would allow you to do, unless, of course, you paid them. Thing about YouTube is it automatically makes and see, when I would do it on Ustream, I would have to download the video, then I would try to edit it, and then I would upload it to YouTube. But YouTube makes the copy automatically. I don't even have to tell it to. I mean, it's there.
It kind of cuts out the middleman.
Yeah, it's there. So YouTube has really turned out to be a pretty good deal, As long as I can stay in good standing with them. If I ever get in bad standing, they'll just block me. But
boy, I see. I got to start turning the light off on top of my head up here.
Oh, you're doing okay right there.
Yeah, I got
this reflection up there.
Here.
Little powder or something like that,
Yeah.
Well, Dan there, let me tell you.
The makeup people missed you, so.
Dan, I know Dan. Dan does have hair there. He's got one of those pullover things that makes you look bald.
Looking at that video myself, he says, "What's that shiny? Oh, that's my head."
Man, I tell you. Let's see. What am I looking at?
I can always put this one on.
I'm starting to get a little worried myself.
There you go. Bobby.
Yeah, that's right from England.
I'm a little worried myself, man. I'm getting thin up here.
That's one that's older and was in use. It took me a long, hard time to either very hard to obtain. I just happen to have a friend of mine that she's from England. She goes home and visits her mother. This is about 20 years ago when I got that. I had to trade a lot of stuff from the police department. She hand carried that on the airplane with a note from the Essex Police Department. She had people on the plane wanting to buy from her. When she landed in Chicago, people at O'Hare came up to her and were offering her money for it. So she was able to get one for herself, and she got one for me.
I tried to sell my UT Vols shoes down at the bowl game this weekend, but nobody wanted to buy them. I don't understand why. They're just orange and white checkered. So
I was reading the chat room. Somebody want to know, what if you strum a guitar and sing the beginning? Well, you can get in trouble. Little town that I grew up in. I went back a while back and I heard. Well, no, it wasn't. No, it was here, down in south of Memphis, down on Mississippi. Down here, there was this restaurant that had a band in there, and they were singing songs. And they're under a $30,000 lawsuit right now because they didn't have a license to play that music.
Yeah, BMI went after them.
Yeah, and so, gee, I mean, so that's that's a private individual singing, strumming a guitar and singing. So I guess you got to be careful. So anyway, they've got a pretty neat deal. I mean, I got an internet a license. It's costing me about right now it's $355 a year, and that's the minimum that you can pay. And you report your songs each year, but at that cost, I can play probably 80,000 songs more than I'll ever play before I even get out of the minimum range. So it's not going to go up with me. So. But
I can always pull out my bass guitar and start playing on here now.
Yeah, is it original song or?
Yeah, with my bass. Or I got my where I play all the time. I've got my bass guitar, my bongos that I play with. But I just play in nursing homes, so nobody questions what songs we play there.
Hey, now Mike's got a good idea on here. He's saying that we could play the music in sideband, and everybody could build. BFOs up on the other end to listen to it. Now, that might work.
Well, the FCC says you can't play music on the air and the radio. So you get
I'm talking about on the internet. He's talking about. See, I play it on the internet, but I do it on I do it in sideband. I'm not sure how I do that, but.
Where'd Dan go?
I don't know. So anybody, a ham radio guy on here says, "What a ripoff." Well, I hate paying for it, but these artists, I guess nowadays they're wanting to protect their.
Well, especially if they're blocking you, I don't understand why. If you're paying for it, why they don't allow it.
Well, it's Ustream has a content machine that flags it because these artists have told them. Flag my song. So YouTube flags it, and then I have to go to the owner to work it out, and that's just too much. I'm okay on 99% of the songs. I know which ones I can play and which ones I can't for right now. So, but $350 a year is not a chicken feed, especially for a webcast like this. But I'd rather be safe than sorry. I didn't want to get in that $30,000 lawsuit like this restaurant south of here.
I haven't told you how much my performance rights are. You have
your performance rights? I don't know.
I don't think I've signed any kind of disclosure agreement. What kind of compensation am I going to get?
Well,
I don't even get paid.
Guys, since I'm feeling good today, I'm going to pay you guys 30% more than I've been paying you in the past.
That sounds good.
Yeah, see, I don't even get paid because I play with a friend of mine. She plays the keyboard acoustic guitar. I got my electric bass and bongos, and we play at about 5 different nursing homes every month. We make the round, so I really don't get paid. So and then when we play there, it's no complaints. They're just happy to hear us. So BMI doesn't come in there.
Yeah.
Well, it's getting past my bedtime, fellas. We'll talk next time.
Oh, yeah, it is getting a little late on the East Coast.
Yeah, almost 11 o'clock.
Yep, now that it is.
All right,
is.
Yeah. All
right.
We'll see you later, man. Thanks
All
for
right,
joining.
guys.
Hey, Jeff.
Good evening.
Good night.
See you next week.
I guess nobody's got a telephone out there. Nobody called us tonight.
And I think everybody's bashful. They don't want to get on.
Yeah, they probably are.
It's an intimidating bunch here.
Yeah. That's why I finally picked up the phone a couple times and called here. I said nobody else did, so I will call. Yeah.
When's the Palmyra de-expedition start?
Soon,
12th?
right? The 12th or 13th, right?
Yeah. I need that one.
Have you worked at Herd Island?
I have not worked Herd Island.
They're coming up in about April.
Yeah.
We're sponsors of them, and we're going to have live video reports from each Tuesday night while they're down there. I'm telling them I want to see them standing out there with some penguins around them. I think that would be great for the show, man. You know. So the satellite phones have already been acquired. They've got funding to, I think, unlimited funding now for the phones. So we're set. We're going to test next to see if we can do video over them. We should be able to. If not, we'll just do still pictures from them and live audio.
Yeah, there's going to be several de-expeditions here in the next few months that are pretty rare.
All right, good night, Kurt, up in New Jersey, 73. And Russ, KG0BK, is leaving us. They're dropping like flies.
Well, I got to switch back. I found I loaded Windows 10 in, and with Edge, I can't bring up the video handle. I got to open my Explorer to come to here. So.
Well, you can't get our video for the show?
Oh, I get your video in it, but it won't go to Hangout.
Oh, okay.
It tells me I've got to go to Internet Explorer, which I still have here. So I got them both open right now. So.
Huh.
That's weird. Yeah, should just go straight into Chrome or whatever.
I guess maybe I need to download Chrome on Edge.
Maybe there might be an extension or something. I think maybe 10 might require some type of extension in Chrome. I don't know. I ran into something like that the other day.
Yeah, I run 10 here as well, and I use Chrome for everything. So things.
Maybe you can help me. I got a problem with Chrome on my main computer in my office.
Yeah.
And I've been reading the internet. A lot of people are having this problem. Almost 8 out of 10 times, pages won't load fully, especially pictures, like on Facebook or anything. The pictures won't load. You have to hit reload, then they'll load. I mean, just almost every time. And it's something about rootkit or something, but I checked it and I can't find anything wrong with it. I even ran an Edware thing today that was supposed to find rootkit problems.
Does the Google Chrome let you put that in on Edge as your homepage? Because I've been trying to put Google on Edge as my homepage, and it won't do it.
You know, I don't even mess with Edge, so probably, I don't know. They probably just have their own branded stuff, their empty tab or whatever. Let's see here. Settings.
They ain't got that Bing, which Edge keeps on.
Okay, I think our friends in Dayton are calling it a good night. They're fixing to go to bed, it looks like. I got a good night from Dayton. That may have been Jim, or it may have been Michael.
It looks like you can set it up that way.
Glad to have you on the show tonight.
Let's see, Edge. So what it will do, you can add a custom page to it, but it's going to open it up in one of the background tabs.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like it does, because they really want to sell their start page, which is, kind of like Google's new tab page, because it has like all the, the same crap that you get in your start menu if you haven't turned all that off yet.
Mike is saying here, Mike VE3MIC is saying that Edge browser is too new, but you should be able to change the settings so that it reports as Internet Explorer. This is all getting too complicated for me now.
Yeah, you can change the URI of it, but that's overly complex. I would install Chrome and call it good. If you're getting like timeouts and you're losing images and stuff like that on your work computer, I would say it's possibly a rootkit, but this is using Chrome on Windows 10. Yeah, because the only thing that really causes that is like a proxy timeout, and if you're at home or whatever, you shouldn't have a proxy at all, and that's normally what those rootkits install themselves as, is like a proxy to your browser.
It's getting really bad. I mean, my other browsers work fine, but it's really affecting Chrome.
Oh, it might be something in the Chrome install. So
well,
yeah,
I've
Google.
I've uninstalled Chrome. I've reinstalled it. Of course.
Yeah, but did you remove all the user data directories and program data directories?
Probably not.
Manually. Yeah, that's the stuff where it stores all that stuff in there.
Yeah.
So I would probably go in and do that. Look for how to do like a clean uninstall of Google Chrome via Google, and it'll tell you which directories to get rid of. There's a couple in the user data directory, the hidden directories inside of Windows in your profile.
Well, I'll use
program data.
Internet Explorer, and I'll pull that up.
Yeah. But there's a clean way to uninstall it, and then you want to double check that you don't have an extension installed that shouldn't be installed.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of those that get in there and they keep installing in your profile, and since if you log into Chrome,
if it is an extension, it's it's hidden somewhere where it doesn't show up under the extension tab on Chrome.
Yeah.
Because I can see I've even looked at extensions on Chrome and I only have like 2 in there.
Okay.
I think I even turned off AdBlock Plus. I thought that was causing it, and it didn't fix it. And
I use AdBlock. Which AdBlock do I use? I think it's regular AdBlock.
Yeah.
And I use Ghostery as well, which is really good. It gets rid of all the other crap.
What was it called? Ghost something?
Ghostery, just like Ghost with an ERY on the end. Highly recommended.
Is that an adware program?
It's more than just an adware program.
I think I loaded it. I may have put that. I think I put that on the one in there because it advertised that it would clean out these rootkits and that kind of stuff. I thought, well, let me give it a try, maybe to clean it up. But
it doesn't clean anything. It just prevents stuff from loading, and you'll notice that web pages load about a zillion times faster.
Yeah.
Ghostery? I'll have to write that note. Try that one.
Yeah, Ghostery and AdBlock, just the regular AdBlock, not AdBlock Plus. I think there's issues.
Let me say something. All right. Yeah, let's see. Hello.
Couldn't be the FCC.
This is KCFQV Mark up in Northeast
We're not on the
Ohio.
air.
Oh, there's somebody there.
Listening to the stream.
All right. And who we got? And we had several people talking. KC who?
Okay, it's KC8 Fox Queen Victor.
Okay.
FQV.
Yeah, and what's your name?
Is Mark, M-A-R-K.
Yeah. And where are you located, Mark?
Okay, I'm located up in Northeast Ohio in the city of Aurora. That's about halfway between Akron and Cleveland. We're just east of them, so they're sort of in a line north and south. We're just about halfway between them two to the east of that line.
Okay.
In the city of Aurora.
All right, very, very good. Okay, well, I guess you've been hearing our discussion. We've been talking about everything on here.
Yep, you had earlier the Hamvention, and I can't wait to get back down there again. I gotta watch the whole thing to see what they had to say. I didn't catch the whole thing. I didn't come in until about it might have been 9:30.
Okay, well, we've got it recorded, so if you look under YouTube. I don't know if you're a member of our Facebook group. If you're not, join W5KUB.com, and it'll be posted. The recordings are always posted there, but you can also go to W5KUB on YouTube. You can find them. Hey.
That's what I just did when I looked for the live feed. I just went to YouTube and typed in your call, and it came right up that you had the live feed.
Cool. So, hey, William, are you hearing Mark okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. I've got so many audio loops and stuff looped around on all these PCs. I just want to make sure it's working.
Yeah, he's coming all nice and clear all the way up here to the UP.
All right, up into the UP there.
U5.
Yeah, I wanted to hear I was trying to get the droid to come up so I could hear my call, but I couldn't do that. But
well, you're going to hear. It's going to be about.
I will hear it probably on. Now, are you still recording this part, or are you done recording the main show?
Yeah. Well, this is still part of. This is the end of the main show. We're still recording. So once we release this tonight, all this is still going to be on there. And the reason you're not hearing it right now is about a 30-second delay from you and me talking on the phone to what goes out.
Yeah, thanks to the internet and thanks to all the different things, it takes a little time. I remember watching some of the football games and some of the shows on C-band satellite.
Yeah.
You want to know some latency. You got to remember, it was 46,000 miles I had to run up and down.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear there. I heard myself there. I go.
There you go.
All right. Well, I'll let you go.
Okay.
So you get more people.
Well, Mark, thanks for calling. And
right,
tune into the show next week, and we're glad to have you.
Yep, I will remember.
All right.
73, Mark.
A lot.
All right, 7.
All right. Well, look at there. The phone did work.
Modern technology. It's
Right,
amazing.
man. That's right.
Yeah, I run I got a computer downstairs. I run our club Echo Link on our local repeater. I also got a second sound card in there hooked up to a scanner with the Microsoft multimedia player on our club web pages. And yeah, there's a delay on that from when you're listening on the web page to our repeater system here.
Yeah, Hangout and Skype, there's almost no delay. It's pretty instantaneous. But when we go through this video server, I guess it's just serving so many people. It adds some latency in there.
Yeah, well, we've got a big dog sled race that comes up in February, and my internet won't handle a whole lot of people, but we connect up to a server. One ham operator in Grand Rapids connects us up for that weekend to a server down there. We can have up to about 500 people logged in at one time, so that puts about a 30-second delay in.
Yeah, I've noticed like, of course, when we were on YouTube, Ustream. I don't know about YouTube now, but when we do Dayton, when we do our Dayton webcast, we'll have about 1,000 people watching, and 1,000 people in the chat room, or maybe 1,500 sometimes. And
there's too many. I can't win any prizes. There's too many other ones.
But I was thinking, I think the longer a person, I think people that have watched the show for 4 and 5 and 6 hours, the delay gets longer and longer and longer. They get further and further behind. And if they'll just hit that reload, then they'll get back to the 20-second latency,
Now, when you go back to that and you do your robot, or what do we call it? Or
Hambot.
I remember we used to have to be registered. You could log in, but you also had to get registered before you could. I don't think you had to do that when you changed over.
Well, what happened? The people that we were paying or renting the chat room from changed from a Flash chat room to HTML5, and they were doing that for security reasons and so forth, which is good. But when they did that, all the Hambot interfaces that we built, of course, didn't work with the new chat room that they turned on. And then they started hitting us with that. They were going to hit us with such a big bill for the chat room, we decided not to even use them. So I found with this other chat room we're on, I don't like it that much. It didn't have as many functions I had, although it's a good solid chat room. It works really well. I just don't have as much control as I used to have in things like a database. I don't have the database. I don't have logs from it, And because of that, we've got Hambot. We rewrote Hambot where it will go out on this chat room. It'll pick a name. I think it verifies if it's in QRZ. It'll get the address. I think it'll tell us if it's a U.S. or an international person. But I have no way of registering people on this new chat room since, I don't. It just doesn't have that function. So we're having to work without registering, which causes us a little bit problem. For instance, sometimes it's hard to find a person that maybe won a prize, and it takes me 5 months to find him. You know, either their email was wrong, or they don't have an email in QRZ or something.
Yeah, I remember we had to register, and then you would change to a green check or something by your name.
Yeah, that was really cool. I like that. But you know, this chat room, you know, I'm happy with it. It's getting us by. In Delta, he's probably in the chat room here with Digital Addiction. He's the owner of Digital Addiction, and help us set this chat room up. And you know, it's doing probably 80% of what we had in the other chat room. We're missing a few things we'd like to have, but we've realized we're probably not going to be able to get them here. So we just have to live with it. And quite honestly, you know, we've adjusted and hadn't bothered us too much. Now, when you get into a big deal like Dayton and we give away about, you know, 50 prizes or 60 prizes, and trying to keep up with all that and make sure we got, you know, good winners and all that, then that's when it becomes more difficult for us.
Yeah, are you going to be able to get Hambot running on the IRC channel?
Well, you know, this chat room will, you know, it is an IRC chat room. You can run an IRC client, you know, like MRC.
Yeah, a regular bot or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if the Hambot was a true IRC bot or not.
Well, Hambot, a friend of mine built him from the ground up, and we built him to match all the APIs and all that stuff of, you know, the other chat room, and I don't know. Our next thing that we were going to do is we were going to try to set up our own database where people could register on our own database outside of this, and Hambot then would check them in QRZ, and then he would also check them to see if they're registered in our database, and if they're registered in our database, then we probably had a good address and, you know, name and address. But we're running.
Well, I mean, they have a registration service built into the IRC thing as well. So, and you could set up the channel so only people that are registered get voiced in the channel.
Well, I can do voice or not, or you know, voice or no voice, but that doesn't. Yeah, just I don't think that's going to work for us. I mean, we had a capability before. I can't even. Before, I could easily unvoice a person if they were getting rowdy, you know, in the chat room, and just take their voice away. But that was without voicing everybody. You could just silence them. I don't know if that's called voice or no voice. It's called silence here. But
yeah, similar. But I'm saying you could have Hambot just look for voiced users or whatever, and those would be your registered ones.
But where they register, see, I don't get that information. I don't get their email address or anything. That's on that IRC server, and that's not information I get.
Yeah, it might be something that what's his name can share with you or whatever.
Yeah, well, he told me, you know, Delta told me if I needed to look somebody up or find somebody to give, you know, he would help and look him up on the log or whatever, but or the database. But you know, it's we need to. We used to use that just about for everybody, so I don't want to go to Delta for all that kind of stuff. But so I don't know. You know, our next best deal was to develop our own database and have Hambot look at our own database, but that's becoming a little bit more difficult, and we just quit working on it.
Yeah, it's a little easier when you control both sides. When you control the IRC server and stuff like that, then you can. You know, you have the database, you have the authentication pool, and you can use that for everything. But since you're kind of using their server,
well, it sounds like you may have a server running in your garage there or your bathroom. So if you can set us up a database and we can point Hambot to it, we'd appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
And there's no classified information that we have on our server. Not that it's been marked classified while we did it.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, it's almost push 11:30 here. I got to go collect garbage trash yet to get it out for tonight, and get ready to call it a night here. It's been enjoyable.
Well, for sure. Yeah, Mike, enjoyed having you.
Good to see you, Mike.
Yeah, I just saw the weather report. In a few days, looks like we're going to be dropping down to the zeros. So it's glad I put my antenna up today.
That's good. Hey, Kathy was telling me the weather report here, Don, in the next 2 or 3 days, they're talking about possibly some snow here.
Hey, there's it. Oh, N8ITK just walked out.
I see that.
Oh, no.
There's my wife. She's N8ITK. She says, that's what you did today when I was at work.
All right.
Hey. Yeah, we're going to get snow starting Thursday through the weekend, and we'll start dipping down into the negatives on Saturday.
They're talking about a little snow here on Sunday, I think, maybe some snow showers. I don't think there's supposed to be any accumulation. I did see a long-range forecast. I don't know how valid it is, but it said toward the middle of the month we might have a couple of snows here, so we'll see.
Well, I tell you, man, it's tough here where we live when you get that two inches a year. Oh, man.
Okay. Good night, guys.
All right. We'll see you.
Good night. Yeah, I got more than 2 inches still sitting in my front yard.
Do they keep the roads pretty clear there?
Yeah, they do a pretty good job. It's not bad. And it's normally the first day of the first snow of the season is pretty bad. You get all the cars flying off the roads and stuff like that, and then people kind of settle in, and then they get the roads clear and it's fine for a while, and then every once in a while it gets a little dicey here and there, but for the most part it's pretty good. I normally just run the front wheel drive car. I only run the all-wheel drive cars when I had to pick up one of my carpool guys because he doesn't plow his driveway or anything like that, and it's like 150 feet of 10-inch plus deep snow. So the little Volkswagen Golf doesn't quite make it through that, so I have to pull the Audi out for that.
I remember when I got my first four-wheel drive vehicle. It was a Chevy Blazer, and my first big revelation about a four-wheel drive was that it does fine going up the hill, but going down the hill, you're like everybody else.
Oh, yeah. Everybody has four-wheel stop, and it doesn't work.
Four-wheel stop is just the same.
Yeah, and there's a lot more mass on those big vehicles you got to think about.
Didn't help a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a little worry, too, that, especially when it's icy, because, even the four-wheel drive gets a little dicey in the ice. And
yeah.
And I prefer the front-wheel drive when it's real icy just because it's more predictable what it's going to do.
I've got a Toyota 4Runner here that I'm in right now. It has four-wheel drive if I need it. It helps out a lot here in the mountains.
Yeah.
Well, Mike says it was minus 15 there this morning. Mike is in Canada somewhere.
Oh, is that VE3 MIC?
Yeah.
Yeah, Burr.
Is it mountainous where you are, William?
We're right on the edge of the Rockies, so we have the Beartooth Mountains probably 52 miles from here.
Yeah.
So it's close. I'm up at 3,200 feet here at my house.
Well, we're technically in the foothills here, but we could go about 10 or 15 miles to the east and be at 4,000 feet. So
yeah, well,
where
the
I
rims
am
behind
right
my
now
house
is
are
we're at 8. My elevation here is 880 feet.
Yeah, I sit behind some rims that surround the city of Billings, and those are up at about 3,900 feet, and they're like right out my back door here. So I have a nice view of the rims in the backyard, but unfortunately also blocks all my RF to the north, so I don't get to see much Europe and Asiatic Russia and stuff like that.
I'm on a hill here, sort of a hill anyway, and so I'm above the average terrain, but we do have mountains to the east, and then there's a plateau to the west of us, but this far enough away that it doesn't really affect our signals.
Yeah, I'm just too close. I'm probably, I don't know, maybe 1,000 foot from 500, 600 foot incline straight up.
Yeah.
So it's it's a bit deafening. Yeah. So
time to do some remoting.
Yeah, it's amazing. I go like a few blocks away and I pull out the the whip antennas, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, I can hear all kinds of stuff.
Does anybody hear any shortwave tonight? Michael, do you know if anybody said anything in the chat room?
I saw a guy report from Wyoming that he was getting it at S8, so that's pretty good condition all the way to Wyoming. So I'm not sure where he was located. WY7KY, I believe, somewhere down there in Wyoming.
Okay,
can look him up. WY7KY. Where's he at? He is. He's in Cheyenne, so that's a pretty good poke.
Well, this antenna, I'm going to try to pull up the, if I can find the right mouse here. Let's see, technical. Almost got it. I got a propagation map here for 0200. That's when we started our show at 0200. All right, so here's I'm gonna send this. Let's see if I can click the right button here. Yep, that's the wrong button. Yeah, that's the propagation map for 5110 at 0200. So you can see that there's Maine right there. Can you see my mouse? I don't know if you can see my mouse. Is it large enough that you can see it?
Move it around a little bit. Where's it at?
I'm not getting any of your video anyway, so I can't see it.
You're not.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, it's definitely making it through.
So
I don't see your mouse though, but I see the image.
Oh wait, I'm putting the mouse on the wrong image. Oh, so that's what I got 4 mices here. There we go. Now you see the mouse.
Oh yeah. There you go.
I was moving the one on the broadcaster, and I said, right on a picture. Why aren't you seeing it? Anyway, that's Maine up there. Let's see, the station is right.
Probably in null, right?
Right in there. Yeah, right there. So, it looks like it's just Maine. Hey, there's not a lot to the west out here.
No, yeah. If you got an S8 on Cheyenne, that's pretty good conditions because, that's a little bit further up there.
Yeah. But let's see, where's Montana? I'm thinking about my geography. Where's Montana?
Straight north there. Keep going.
Right there.
There you go.
No, is that
so
it?
I'm
That's
like,
it.
Yep. I'm like right where your mouse is about
man,
where
you're
I'm
almost
at.
You're almost a Canadian.
Yeah. Not too far. You can go to Canada.
Gee. Well, you're not even in the signal path, it looks like.
Yeah. Like normally when I hear it, it's right at the noise floor, and I can just barely make out the audio.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, it pops up to S3, and
now,
it's not too bad.
When we get on, we'll probably go back to 9330 in the summer. Let's see.
Yeah, you have a little more daylight. MUF probably hangs out a little longer.
9330.
What is the MUF right now in Colorado? Let's see.
If we go back to 9330 right here at 0200, that's a little better.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a little better, although man, I don't know. It's hard for me to tell what you'd be in a blue.
Right there.
Yeah,
I'm in the blue. Yeah,
you're greater than 30. I guess that's 35 dB. I guess dB.
Yeah, a little over the noise floor. That's not bad.
Yeah.
It's about S1, S2, something like that. But right now the MUF is 7.8 meg, so it wouldn't make it that far anyway.
Oh yeah, I'm glad I changed the frequency then. I didn't think it. See, we were on at 9330, and it just not. That's too high right now.
Yeah. This time of year, it's not enough ionization left.
Yep. Yeah.
Guys, I'm gonna call it a night.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Good discussion as usual.
We'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Yep. Take care.
All right.
73.
All right. We'll see
73.
you. All right. I'm gonna get off here too. We'll see you, Michael.
Bye.
All right, guys, thanks for watching tonight. We're going to go ahead and terminate the webcast. I enjoyed the show, having you guys with us tonight, and be back next Tuesday. It's going to be a great show next Tuesday with our radio pirate. I think it's going to be an exciting show. 73 to everybody. Again, if you tuned in, well, I think our shortwave is off at 9:30, so if you heard us on shortwave, I'd just be interested in a signal report. If anybody tuned in tonight, shoot me an email at tom@w5kb. We'll see you later. 73.